Hello.
We are live.
Yeah, we're live.
We're live. All right. Well, just jump right in here. Let me share my screen. All right. Well, welcome back to the Autonomous Developers Biweekly Sync, where we discuss all things autonomous and what's been going on with the developers and engineering. So we still have people joining. I think everyone's here now. All right. Well, why don't we go ahead and jump in? I didn't have any kind of real big general updates, so we can just go ahead and start with Emil, who is presenting the community updates this week.
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. So from the community, let's start with the kind of community updates and hot topics. Uh, Good things that the mainnet remains solid as usual, so we don't really experience any issues on mainnet, and the community is really happy with it. We've recently started Game of Domains, as everyone know, and we have 600 operators registered during phase one, during phase zero, which is really exciting. So the community is really eager to participate in the Game of Domains. And then we started the new phase, which we named Crossing the Narrow Sea. And on this phase, we are really testing the XDM. So we've invited you to test the XDM, to do the XDM transactions between the consensus chain and the auto EVM domain. At the same time, the team is also working on the doing some load testing on the XDM, and this resulted in some of the kind of issues for the operators. So what we've seen in the community, there's been a lot of kind of replotting on Taurus, because as the transaction history controls how fast and how often kind of the replotting happens, and the blockchain history has grown quite a lot in the recent weeks with the XDM load. We've seen that a lot of kind of reports on the replotting, and then it takes a while for the community to complete this replotting. And also, of course, keeping your Taurus operator in sync is challenging for a lot of people. For some of the Astral issues, some users might see that they have staked tokens locked due to the zero amount withdrawals issue. So that's what they see in the Astral UI, but the issue itself is a little bit more kind of complex, and I think Ning will touch on that later in the call. So we'll explain what's happening there. As for some of the other updates, we also have welcomed our Rose, our newest community team member, to the team a few weeks ago, and she's responsible for the APAC growth, community growth, and management. She's still onboarding, but she's already present across our kind of social media channels. And please, if you see her, feel free to say hi and welcome her kind of to the community. But please don't overwhelm her with the questions just yet. I know that we have a really massive community in the APAC region who is kind of eager to ask her questions, but she's still onboarding. So please let her take her time to onboard, and then she'll be ready to support you in any ways possible. As for the farmer office hours, so we've for the past kind of 6 months, or probably even more, we've been using StreamYard, so a platform like we're using today for our community calls. But we've seen some feedback on Discord that some of the community members did not like it, and they felt that the Discord settings and Discord stage felt a bit more intimate. So we've listened to your feedback, and last week we've held the farmer office hours on Discord stage, and we agree that it feels a little bit more intimate, as I mentioned, and it's probably like a better place to listen to all the updates, and also kind of keep the conversation really engaging, so you can ask questions, and we're there to actively answer these questions. So going forward, we are planning to continue using the Discord stage for most of the community team events. But of course, as usual, we're open to your feedback. So if you feel like there is any other platforms, or there is any other way we can make these events better for you as a community, you just let us know in Discord, and we'll try our best to accommodate you. For some other things, we've recently announced that there is a new bridge launched on the Taurus EVM, which allows you to transfer tokens between Taurus testnet and Sepolia. So we're testing it internally in the team, and we're also looking for any feedback from the community. So please let us know if it works, if there is any kind of UI issues, or if there's if you struggle to do that at any point for any reason. But what we're also looking for is the feedback on what are the changes that you would like us to support next. So we'll be creating a poll with the list of the projects that we are kind of looking forward to supporting. But of course, as I mentioned, we're always listening to your feedback on Discord. So if you have a specific project with a specific goal you would like us to support for the bridge, please let us know. And for some of the campaigns which are upcoming, so I'm just gonna reveal this campaigns a little bit. First, we are soon gonna launch the Cosmic Cultivators quest for farmers, and this campaign, this quest is created in collaboration with one of the ecosystem partners. It's gonna be really exciting and interesting quest. So please keep an eye out for the announcements on how to snag yourself an exclusive Discord role, and perhaps have a chance to win some USDC. As for developer engagement campaigns, we are working on a campaign which we are named Battle of Realms. And that's going to be a really exciting global campaign to engage with developers. And I can even say that it's going to be like a global hackathon. And for some of the interesting things, we are looking for integrating like some interesting integration between our different campaigns. So this the Battle of Realms is going to have some really strong integration with the Game of Domains mechanics. It's going to have lots of different tracks for all kind of builders. So no matter what kind of thing you're building or your experience, there is going to be a track which will be there specifically for you. And the winners, and one of the prizes or one of the perks for this campaign winners is going to be a fast track access to pitching to the Subspace Foundation for grants. So the winners will be able to pitch directly to the Subspace Foundation, and we'll be able to have a bigger probably chance to getting grant from the Subspace Foundation, which we're of course really excited about. And the few remaining things I want to mention is that this Wednesday, we're gonna have developer office hours on Discord at 4 p.m. UTC. So our usual time slot on Wednesday. And this week, we're going to reveal some more details about the upcoming developer engagement initiatives. But we're also going to have Saeed joining us and doing some interesting and exciting demos on the Autonomous Agents framework, and perhaps even AutoOS. So if you're interested in learning more, please join us at the Discord stage at 4 p.m. UTC this Wednesday. I think that's it for the community team. So it's over to you, Jeremy.
All right, thank you, Emil. Always a lot happening on the community side, which is great. Some of the things you highlighted, I think, are what we're going to address from a developer standpoint. The XDM testing and just general load testing of Taurus has obviously shown some areas where we're addressing now. One of those has been, as you mentioned, kind of keeping a node in sync as an operator has been difficult at times. That's been primarily driven by slow XDM. So we have found the root cause of that and are working on a fix or have a fix for that. So Ning, would you mind kind of giving us an update there and letting us know about the fix?
Yeah, sure. One had learning domain nodes on Taurus or linear consensus node may solve some of the slow domain block exclusion, or you can see that the syncings will drop to like single digital at some points. And this is due to some of the SDM testing we are running on Taurus, and there are some issues about the SDM processing that may slowly reduce because there are some kind of storage item in the runtimes, and it's a big storage. It's a big values, and when we updating, try to when we're processing a SDM, we need to read some of this state or this value and maybe update a small part of it. And because its size very large, so we need to decode, encode, and also some of the memories allocation issue that will bring down the speeds. And this is also something similar to other like performance issue we met previously on domains that happens on EVM transactions. And we have PRs is fixing the issue and is merged, and it should be land into Taurus in the next runtime upgrades. But you may still seeing this issue because like in some ways, because this is all happens on in the runtimes, and for a specific range of block, if you're still using the old runtime, so you will still seeing this issue if you are singing from journeys. But for the consent node, if you are using SnapSync, you should not see this issue once we had the landis. And for domain, you may still seeing this issue for a bit more times until we had the domain SnapSync ready, so you can just SnapSync to the right into the block that we already had the fix. Yeah, this is pretty much about the slow SDMs.
We had another issue that Emil alluded to, and that was about the missing share price that is making it difficult for people to unlock their funds after a withdrawal. Do you want to touch on that real quick as well?
Yeah, that's what actually a really like edge case. You need to there are many several conditions you need to meet to trigger these issues. First, you need to be like nominators that had depot and then withdraw all your fund. But before you are fully withdraw, then you try to using withdrawal like withdrawal 0% of your fund or withdrawals holes. And in that depot, that because we had efficient check about zero amount withdrawal, then this card request will still be assessed by the chains. And then, but when we do EPO transaction, we saw that there's zero amounts of withdrawal, and so we do not add this share price for these operators. But if later you try to unlock and if you try to find the share price to cover your share to balance, but because the share price is missing, so you cause it will return like arrows. For this we also had a PR open and try to fix that, and with some migration that we're using a default share price to cover this share to balance. And for nominator who had suffered from this issue, you may see a little bit more worse once we had these breakdowns. And you will able to successfully submit unlock fund and having a bit more reverse unlocks. Yeah.
Thank you. So, once we have this landed, if I understand correctly, the share price that we'll use, because instead of the missing share price and instead of what it would have been, we're just going to use the latest share price, which means that those nominators who have been locked will get an extra, some extra earnings based on what would have been earned over the time frame that they have had their funds locked. So,
yeah, just like that, they had never, they still earning even they had required withdrawals until we fix the issue and they unlock the fund.
Okay, and we should see that landing fairly soon.
Yeah, it will also happen in the next runtime upgrade on the consent chains. Yeah.
Great. All right, Ved. Ding alluded to this a little bit, but the domain SnapSync, which is going to be key in getting people kind of back up and running as operators, those especially who've had some slow sync issues from the XDM. Domain SnapSync is going to be kind of instrumental in getting them past those rough areas. you want to kind of give an update where we are on that?
Yeah, so on the domain snapshot, while we are testing in the current client, we did see some small issues there. That's one reason why the domain snapshot did not work as we intended it to work. We have made some fixes to actually ensure that that doesn't happen. We are still yet to test because some of the key protocols for domain snapsync have changed and would require the entirety of the Taurus network, at least a big chunk of it, to be actually upgraded to the latest client release for us to continue testing and iterating on top of domain snapsync. We do not expect a lot of changes, but again, we will continue to test, we'll continue to fix as soon as we have, as soon as we see any issues identified and we find any root causes for it. The domain snapsync fixes are already in the in the main repository. These changes will be released pretty soon as part of the client release. So that should happen in the next couple of days or so, depending on if there are any other issues that we'd like to handle within the same release, or if not, we'll release it as soon as possible.
So it sounds like with the next client and runtime upgrades, we should be addressing most of the issues we found through the XDM testing. So
that is true.
That's the purpose of the XDM testing that we've done, and it's great to see kind of successful addressing of these issues. So, although we still have testing ahead of us, so I won't get too excited yet.
I do want to highlight that if we have not had that stress testing, we would have never found most of the issues that we identified right now. We might end up having to see them in mainnet. So that's pretty great that we were able to do that stress testing thanks to the community and able to fix it in Taurus itself before it landed on main.
Absolutely. So, all right, Mark, I think you've got a demo for us. You've been hard at work improving some staking UX in addition to something I was just actually browsing around right now, and that's the new profile section. So.
Yeah, totally. I think you've seen my screen right now. I had announced, I think 2 weeks ago, that I was going to push to production a bunch of change, and it never happened as I was not very pleased with the UX for the new Connect wallet. So when I connect my wallet now, it's usually asking me to sign my wallet. But in any case, yeah, okay, now it's asking me to sign my wallet. And that's confirming that I am actually owning this wallet. And the new nomination page to look at your current nomination is very changed. Thank you, Jeremy, for this UX design. So now it's basically regrouping the three table that we had with the 3 different type of events or action that you can do on an operator into one table. So you have the transaction history that summarize all these actions together on a timeline, and you have the overview that recap give you a summary of the amount of token you have staked, the amount in storage fund, the pending withdrawal, meaning if you have withdrawal that are in process for waiting or ready to unlock, and the total reward. So basically, how much you deposited minus how much you withdraw, plus your stake, plus your accrued. And so that's how much you made in reward over time, and for each operators. This will improve. I'm already seeing some not perfect things that I want to improve, so I'm going to keep on working on this. The other point you brought is the profile section. So we now have, once you connect a wallet, you have a little avatar, and you can create your profile. So in this case, I'm going to put some basic content, everything. Every time you change something, it's going to ask you to sign to prove that you're doing it via the same wallet, the same account that has control over your wallet. Now you can choose to share some of those field, and I can go and add my GitHub account, for example. And this gives you your profile, but as well as a public profile. It's not yet linked to it's not yet deeply integrated into in the Explorer, so the goal will be soon to start integrating it. So if you go to the wallet address of someone that has created a public profile, then you could see their public profile. Same thing if you go to the operator, you could see their public profile if they choose to set up a public profile, and so on. On your profile, you can also connect different wallets, create API key. We have the documentation for. We'll look at this. It looks like a small glitch. You can create tags. Again, this is not yet super well integrated into the Explorer. The goal will be, for example, if I know your wallet address, Jeremy, I can create a tag on my profile that label your wallet. And so every time I see extrinsics or other transaction related to you from your wallet, it could have a small tag next to it saying Jeremy, or a bit like you see it on many other Explorer, like Etherscans and such. So that's the goal. We also added things in that update, the transaction history page to the XDM page. So that summarizes all your transfer, a bit like the transfer tabs on the accounts detail does it. But this will be for your currently connected wallet, what you receive or what you sent. We'll improve that to have a better traceability over the XDM status. Right now, it's just showing the extrinsic if it's successful, but it doesn't actually tell us if the XDM itself was successful. So if on the destination chain, the XDM was released and successful, but that will improve very shortly. So that's pretty much the three main updates, the nomination page on the staking, the profile section, and the XDM history.
Amazing. Great work. I know operators are particularly probably going to want to be setting up some kind of public profiles as they're attempting to get nominators to nominate them. So this will be extremely useful and something we've actually been talking about, I think, for over a year now, is having some sort of profile information. So
totally. And I don't want to take all the merits. A lot of it was Naman works as well. So thank you very much.
And speaking of Naman, Europe, AutoDrive. I know you've been doing some work in there as well. So will you be sharing a demo?
Is my screen visible?
I don't see it. Mark, do you have to? There you go.
Here it is.
Okay.
Perfect.
First of all, thank you, Jeremy, for all the feedbacks you have given that made this the revamp of the whole AutoDrive user interface. So there are many changes we have done, like the table has been revamped. So we have added a new UX, which have a new column that is status, which will give you an update about on which stage the file is. Then we have the CID you can copy. Apart from that, we have the pagination. Let's say if you have a very there are lots of pages, lots of files uploaded on the AutoDrive. So let's say if you want to go to any page number, let's say 800, so you can go through the input directly. So that will help. Apart from that, the search bar is also changed. Earlier, it was something like you can search here and it will go to a particular page. But now what happens is you can just add any kind of name, random name, and it will give you the result of that particular name. Let's say I will add the extension, let's say .pdf. So it will log me all the PDF which are available.
Demo gods.
No. PDF. Okay, maybe there are no PDFs available here. let's say here I have this PDF. So here, if I add this, it will give me results of the PDF. Similarly, you can copy the CID and you can paste that also. You can search by CID. So that is also available. Apart from that, now earlier we used to just have upload file for single inputs, but now we can upload at least 10 files at a time. Let's say, okay, let's say I have added 5 files, so I can upload all of them at a time. It says like uploading 5 files at a time without encryption I'm trying to add. So it will add all 5 files at a single time. So all of
Nice.
will come here. Come on. Okay, all of them came. Apart from that, the preview page, the details page has changed a lot. So the details page, we have added more of a metadata, which could be useful for the developers. There are some details also added, like what is the reason we have added this. Apart from that, let's say this file is added to our blockchain, so we can go to the explorer and see like what happened to that particular block and how these things are added. So we can close these. So you can see all the logs here, like what happened to that particular block at that particular time. Apart from that, the preview we are trying to add more and more preview. Whatever we have available now, I will show those things. So this is, let's say you have added audio. So preview for audio will look like this. Let's say if you have video, it will look like this. Let's say there is a PDF, so it will look like this. Apart from that, let's say, okay, that I will show later. This is for the JSON. This is for the images. Then let's say if there are some files, let's say this zip or maybe exe or something else which is not supported, so this kind of preview will come. Let's say that particular file is not supported, but there is a link which will redirect users to the gateway directly. So from there, they can either download or preview the files directly. So let's say this is a zip file, so the gateway is telling to download this file. If it is a kind of PDF or something, so you can just go there and just preview the file. So this could be useful if the preview is not available in the auto drive directly. I think these are the changes that we have done.
This is awesome. Need to start uploading music.
Yeah, amazing. It's our audio player, auto drive the audio player.
Auto
Yes,
tune.
you can play this.
Auto tune. There we go. Auto tune. That's great. Auto tunes. All right. Well, thank you, Naman. This is great. Love seeing the improvements happening there on auto drive. All right. Next, we have Saeed. Saeed, you've been rapidly changing, improving the developer experience around our agents framework. You want to kind of give an update where we're at with that and where we're going?
Yep, sure thing. So previously, devs had to clone the repo, install everything. Basically, it was like a big mono repo that you have to install many packages, which some of them might not be necessary. That's the first issue. The second issue, it was getting bigger and bigger, and we had like a really big code base. And for someone who was not familiar with our stack, getting onboarding with the new changes was quite difficult. So that said, we wrapped the core part of the agent, which is like all of the features that you're now running an agent, for example, from the monorepo. Wrap everything around the npm package and publish them to the npm. registry. So it is now available on our organization handle /agent-core. That was the first update that we came up in the last week. And following that, we came up with a new idea, like introducing the template repository, and it's available right now in our organization GitHub. So devs right now can just with one click create a new agent repository for themselves on their GitHub account, and it's automatically by default using our agent-core package. So basically, they don't have to do anything regarding for example, cloning the repo, the mono repo, and going through all of the complicated steps. All of them are abstracted through that packaging, and the only job that they need to do is to configure their character file and all of the secret like credential and API keys. And after that, the agent is basically ready to run. But it's still like the question was, what if someone wanted to add a tool? So we don't want to keep like an ever-growing npm registry. So we don't want to have like PRs for tools, basically, because that would because like we will have a really bulky and heavy package in the future. So picking up the old idea of having a tool registry, it is in a much better shape right now. So basically, after you created your template folder, a new package that we will introduce hopefully in this week, which name is AutoOS, that you can install more tools for your agent. So basically, you can just go to that folder in your terminal and run AutoOS install the tool name, and it will automatically install in your agent. And then you can just follow the README or the instruction to install the dependencies that is needed to add this tool to your agent and import it in your agent file, which is using basically all of the functionalities from the agent core. And it will be good to go, and you can run your agent. And yeah, so in a nutshell, we are moving toward a path that would be much easier and super easier for devs to create their own agents and develop more tools. And if they are interested, they can go to the monorepo and read the core files. And if they are interested to contribute, for example, they can open the PR on the monorepo, and we will review and add the new features or the new changes to the next version that we are going to publish on the agent-core. Yeah, that was all. Still more things in a queue to happen. For example, the Docker image would be different, a bit different with introducing this agent core packages and AutoOS. And other scripts, for example, for resurrection, we are still in a migration phase. So you will see some more updates regarding the functionalities in the coming week. Yeah, that was all. I know, Jeremy, that you were working on the MCP integration, and we already had a successful results. Do you want to jump on that?
Yeah, before we go to there, I was just wanted to highlight too that we launched an agent in a TE last week in conjunction with the secret network, and so Saeed was instrumental in getting that up and running with kind of Docker and getting that whole setup good to go. So we should be seeing more of that this week. I think there were a couple of last little pieces to get that fully functional, but also an exciting kind of development of having verifiable and if you want private kind of running of the agent. So yeah, MCP. So I've been working quite a bit in the last week on MCP integration from a couple of different perspectives. One is being able to rapidly wrap MCP servers as tools within the autonomous agents framework. So for instance, we added Notion and Firecrawl in just a couple of lines of code because they already have published MCP servers. And so those become tools for the agent very easily. The other side of this is really improving agent experience with the autonomous network by creating MCP servers for all of the things you can do on the network. I have alpha release of AutoDrive with a couple of functions, upload and download objects that are currently working, mostly working. So, but we will be adding functionality across kind of anything that's in the Auto SDK that would make sense for an agent or for a user to want to do via an LLM will be added as an MCP server. So for example, staking UX could be done from Claude Desktop. So you could go in and kind of connect your wallet with the MCP server and do any functionality you want to do on Autonomous in a kind of natural language way. So I think this is a pretty amazing kind of protocol in unlocking functionality, basically unlocking all internet functionality into LLMs and agents very rapidly. So we're excited to be kind of on the forefront of getting our servers published in that. So. All right. Well,
sorry to cut you. There's a couple comments I saw on X that I want to reply to. There's Abdul Karim Muhammad that wrote, he was wondering how long it takes to redraw. So basically, every time you redraw something in the staking interface on Astral, it needs to go through the challenge periods that equivalent to 1 day in domain blocks. So if there's something happening on the domain like we had in the past that make the block production slower, it can take more than a day, but usually it's about a day worth of blocks on the domain, and then you can unlock the funds. As I was testing, as soon as I push to production, the change, I see that my mapping of the status is not great. So it's showing like after 10 minutes after the end of the epoch that the funds are ready to be unlocked. I'm going to fix that in the next after this meeting. And as well, another question was, I will be very glad if I'm giving a contract here. I will possibly work very hard to make sure I bring development to the team. So we have on the autonomous.xyz website in the contact us, in the about, there's a career section. So we list our open position. But one way to really put the spotlight on you, as I'll say, is contribution. So all our repo are open source. So if you want to contribute to Astral, to AutoDrive, to the agent framework, those are all open repo, and we love contribution to the extent of your skills. It can be even just opening issue when you see issues, contributing into the discussion, creating PRs, proposing new future. We love contribution. So yeah, and to that I will also add, please likes, follow, subscribe to YouTube or whatever meta you're using to consume this. I'm very happy that we reached the 200 live viewer again, so that's awesome.
That's great. All right. Well, again, everyone, thank you for tuning in. Those who are live and those watching later in the recording. We look forward to giving more updates in 2 weeks. We'll see you back.